Liverpool takes on Aston Villa. Throughout the season, I've seen a consistent issue or reoccurrence with the center backs and when the goalkeeper has the ball. So for instance, today, Andy Robertson had the ball. He plays a bouncing ball back to Adrian, but Adrian has plenty of time to control it and make a decision. But as this ball gets played back, the center backs throughout the season do not consistently get back and open up their body shape as you would see so that they can face forward and look to build up play. As the ball gets played back, if they don't have tons of time, they will come to the edge of the 18, have their body shape closed off, and either, yes, they drop off, ball gets played in, and then they're safe. Or if they're put under a little bit of pressure, there's a bit of indecisiveness. Does the ball get played long? Do they play a diagonal, or do they try to play out through here? Well, and today, when this ball does get played back, Joe Gomez does not sprint to get back. His body shape is closed off. Can't play here because of the pressure. Adrian thinks that he's going to drop, which he doesn't. The ball gets nicked by Aston Villa. Ball gets played across. First goal of the game. The shining light in today's match was Liverpool's consistent ability to break Aston Villa's shape with the creation of a wide triangle between Jota, Wijnaldum, and Andy Robertson. We would see often a rotation between these three players. As we see throughout the season, Jota may come inside, Andy Robertson providing width, Wijnaldum dropping deep into that fullback. Usually, Wijnaldum would be the one dropping into that area when the ball was being played across between the center backs, giving him time to drop in, Andy Robertson moving up, and then Jota moving in between the pocket. If the ball was already with Wijnaldum, we could see that Jota would stay wide, Andy Robertson would tuck in, Wijnaldum would sit into that pocket. In a few occasions, Jota would actually keep the width as they were looking for this ball out wide. As Wijnaldum moved into here, we would see Andy Robertson moving into the pocket. And this was actually quite fruitful, which you don't see that often with Andy Robertson moving inside, who likes to stick out wide. But the ball would be played in, then being played up. He would continue his run beyond the line. That ball would be being played there. And it was a good tactic because then Andy Robertson was able to run around the ball as the entire line was dropping back, would have players attacking, moving up, and as he ran around the ball would get whipped in with his left foot. Whereas normally he receives the ball, sets, plays it in. But here, allowed the ball to use its pace, get his body around it, and then whip in a low hard cross. As mentioned in other analysis, this year, Liverpool are working on holding a much higher defensive line than they have in years past. Well, in today's match, it came back to catch them. We've spoken about how they are susceptible to speed and behind. Well, today, yes, they had speed and behind, but really their timing and understanding of triggers of a back line just weren't there and they didn't click. So your main triggers are if no threat, no pressure on the ball, hold the line. But as we can see here, threat, no pressure on the ball, must drop a yard. So for instance, again, if we say no threat, no pressure, hold. So that means it needs to put pressure, hold our shape as well. So pressure, no threat, hold. No pressure, no threat, hold. No pressure, threat, drop a line. And this threat can come from forwards positioning on the back line, or the threat can be, as we saw in today's match with Ross Barkley, he bossed the match. His ability to run from deep and run at players was something that they just couldn't take control of and were not able to handle his ability in today's match. But again, the threat can either come from players positioning themselves on the back line or from a midfielder who may be running from deep to be able to time that ball in behind. So again, their work on triggers as a back line must improve if they are to continue to hold this back line to aid their pressure. No pressure, no threat, hold. Pressure, no threat, hold. No pressure, threat, must drop a yard. As we all know, part of Liverpool's build-up is to have one of their midfielders drop between the center back and fullback so that he can push on wider, wide forward can tack into the pocket, and then that near-sided midfielder potentially can move into here. Or we can have this midfielder dropping in, holding midfielder stays central, same concept, fullback wide forward attacks the pocket. Today, we would have a midfielder dropping in, particularly Fabinho, into the wide area, but as he would drop in, the opposite midfielder would not be dropping in to give cover as he should. So if they were to lose the ball, that's a direct counterattack. So what we would like to see is this midfielder dropping into this pocket here. So as this ball does get played, whether it's here, here, or here, we have a good shape. This could be part of the reason why Keita got the hook. We bring on Milner. Milner did make an impact as a sub, consistently providing more midfield steal. We would see him dropping into the pocket so that Fabinho could hold central, building up from here, as well as seeing that if Fabinho was going to drop into this area on the opposite side, Milner knew that he needed to drop in, which we did not see consistently from Wijnaldum, which was quite uncharacteristic from them, their lack of movement and their bite in the match.